So this is part 3 to the series I'm doing, where I'm just looking at a bunch of different renders and artwork and stuff for different video games, starting with some Mario Party games. Now, since this is part 3, this would have been just Mario Party 3, but I actually just decided to do the entire rest of the series all in one video. It's just that I'm going to narrow it down to what I think was the best stuff I came across in looking at all of the box arts and manuals and artwork galleries for these different games. So to get right into it, we're going to start with Mario Party 3, which would have been the main topic of this video, but it's not anymore. From the manual, there's this one render here of the whole group all together, and I just want to point out how little some of the characters have changed over time, at least from this point in time. Mainly Wario and Waluigi, especially Waluigi. This guy probably hasn't changed at all since he first appeared. Meanwhile, every other character is kind of unidentifiable from their original appearance. They all have gone through a lot of change, except for Waluigi. Anyway, another thing from Mario Party 3's manual is where it talks about the 3 bonus stars, calling them the Happening Star, Coin Star, and Millennium Star. And I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure this is an error, because it's supposed to be the minigame star, not the Millennium Star, because the Millennium Star is, like, the actual character. Another thing that I'm pretty sure is actually a spelling error in this manual is they call the map Creepy Cavern Creepy Caverns. And I also want to point out the logo from Mario Party 3, the US versus Japan one. The Japanese one just looks so much better. Like, it looks so much more up-to-date and modern than the English one. The English one looks really just dated, and it makes it feel like an old video game. The Japanese one is neon, it's glowing. The 3 is like a very nice color, looks cooler. They even have the Millennium Star as part of the logo. It's a lot nicer. Also, here's this random render of DK I found. I just liked this one for whatever reason. He's playing Snowball Summit. This kind of reminds me of something that would have appeared in like the Donkey Kong Country trilogy, which by that point were already a few years old. Also, unlike the last 2 Mario Parties, so essentially in the first 2, each character was kind of assigned to their own color, Mario being red, Luigi being blue at first, but then later green in Mario Party 2, and so on. For whatever reason in Mario Party 3, they actually gave each character like a whole color scheme. So when a character starts their turn, it says the character's name and then start. As you can see here, Mario, he's got like red, orange, and blue. Peach has like blue and 2 shades of pink. But the notable thing here is that Luigi has blue and green, which were both of the colors he was represented by in the previous games. So it's like they were like, alright, do we send Luigi back to being blue, or do we keep him as a darker green than Yoshi? And then they were like, you know what, how about both? And also Wario, who is usually purple, at least in Mario Party 1 and 2, now has purple and yellow, which is pretty much his whole color scheme now. Also, I found this other render. I think this maybe appears in the story mode somewhere. It's another one I just like for whatever reason. It's Mario just chilling on a fold-out chair with a glass of something. Anyway, one more thing from Mario Party 3 is this, I believe it's a German ad for the game. It's got like, I guess this is supposed to be like a model building kit based on the game. You've got stuff for, I guess, what is Parasol Plummet, Locked Out, Hey Batter Batter, Storm Chasers, and the beat goes on, but I don't know, this isn't even really a good advertisement. It's not really showing the game off at all, or what the game is about. Anyway, on to Mario Party 4, here's one thing from the manual that says, "The Party Cube cometh," which is interesting, to say the least. And also, this is apparently the original box art and logo for the game, as opposed to the final design, with the 4 being a different color. The 4 here seems to kind of take inspiration from the American flag, but even more notably, every single character is using their previous N64 era renders, even Daisy, who by this point had a new design. So it's interesting that they did this, but I'm sure this is just a placeholder, especially since I'm pretty sure every single render here is literally just the same one from the Mario Party 3 cover, so that would have been really lazy if they did it that way. But going back to the fact that the 4 in that logo was kind of based on the US flag, the very next game, Mario Party 5, there's actually some advertising for the game that sort of parodied United States presidential ads, so it seems to be like a consistent tie-in, and for whatever reason, again, even though by this point Mario Party 5 is like, I think 2003, they're still using some N64 renders, but for whatever reason it's only for Mario and I think even Bowser too. Meanwhile, Luigi, DK, and Wario all have their updated renders, although I'm pretty sure Luigi's there is from Double Dash. But I guess this is because maybe this is before the game even launched, so they didn't even have new renders yet, because also the other one of Mario is literally the render they used for the cover of Mario Party 4, the previous Mario Party. And here's, I guess, like a beta title screen for the game, including the original logo for the game, which I honestly think looks better than the final one. The 5 is a different color and has honestly a cooler looking design. The whole thing has a cool rainbow outline, and the Mario Party part itself is kind of like golden and shiny. I kind of wish they would have kept this one. The only thing I found from Mario Party 6 really is just this one really weird ad with a bunch of mouths all over the place talking about the microphone. I feel like this is something you would have seen in the 90s, not, I guess, 2004 when this game came out, but I wasn't even alive yet, so I guess I wouldn't know. For Mario Party 7, I found something interesting in the manual. It's introducing all of the characters, and all of the characters in this game have, like, unique, kind of partnered up renders. You got Mario and Luigi jumping together, which is on the title screen, or not the title screen, on the box art, and I'm pretty sure all of this is. You got Yoshi and Birdo running, Dry Bones riding on a Boo, Toadette on top of Toad, and Waluigi on Wario, but for whatever reason they just use a generic render of Daisy and Peach kind of just positioned next to each other instead of the actual one they have. But what's weird is that a few pages later in the manual they then use the Peach and Daisy render where they're like dapping each other up, so I don't know why they left that out of the actual character page where all of the other partnered up renders are, but yeah, also that's a pretty tough render of the two of them. Anyway, Mario Party 8, that manual literally uses the same exact render from the page of the previous game's manual that I literally just showed you of Bowser, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's not even from Mario Party 7 either. They just reused that from something else. Anyway, Mario Party 9, here's another like beta logo for the game, where the 9 was originally supposed to be pink. I believe the final, it's like rainbow colored, but if they had kept it pink, this would have been the first time a Mario Party had a pink colored number, because usually all of the numbers in the numbered titles are a different color, and if they did pink, that would have been the first time, but instead they actually ended up doing it for Mario Party 10, where the 10 was pink. And this is something I feel like people have probably seen or noticed or talked about before, but I literally just noticed it now when I was looking through all this stuff. In the cover of Mario Party 9, especially if you look at an isolated artwork without the logo in the way, Luigi is there, he's just all the way in the background in the castle for whatever reason, which is, I assume, the Boo's Horror Castle map. Now, I'm really not sure why they did this, since he's like a really important character. They should have put him up front. The only thing I can really think of, which would be pretty cool, considering this game came out in 2012 and the next Luigi's Mansion game came out the very next year, maybe they knew what was going on and they did like a very subliminal teaser to Luigi's Mansion 2 by putting him in a ghost house all the way in the back. Here's another original logo, this time from Mario Party Advance, where they, I guess, just used the literal Game Boy Advance logo for the Advance part. And then here's something for Star Rush. On the title screen, there's all these characters here, and then I found this actually isolated artwork of all the characters, and the one thing I noticed is that, like, it's a little more stretched out. Or I didn't mean the title screen, I meant the box art. But it's a little more stretched out here in this, like, key art version of it. Every single character, though, is there on the box art, just kind of more condensed to fit, except for these two Goombrats on the side. So I don't know why they excluded them, but they did. And also here's an outdated, or I guess like a beta box art for Star Rush, where it literally just had like a transparent PNG background, and also I'm pretty sure that render of Peach is literally from like the original New Super Mario Bros. Like 10 years old by that point. And one of the final things I got is this, I guess, ad for Mario Party Top 100, where they have these really weird stretched head toads to match the numbers. And the one especially just looks really off, but yeah, that was an interesting design choice there. And the last thing I want to show is another thing from Mario Party Advance, which is this one ad for it. First of all, pretty much every single render here I'm pretty sure is actually from Mario Party 4, mainly all of the characters dressed up like Goomba, Boo, Shy Guy, and Toad, but also the Red Boos and the Mega Mushrooms on the ground. But more notably, they have this Yoshi render, which I forget what that's actually from. It might be from like Smash or something. But even more importantly, they have a Mario, and for whatever reason, it's Paper Mario, so I don't know why they did that. I mean, I guess the 1,000-Year Door was, like, relatively new at the time, but I don't know why they didn't just use regular Mario, because Paper Mario is not related to Mario Party at all. So yeah, that's all I got. I want to continue doing this series. It's just that, unfortunately, the first two Mario Party ones, I guess they didn't perform too good. I don't know if that's because Mario Party isn't like a really popular series, or the algorithm just hates me now, but oh well. But I do want to do some other games regardless of if the algorithm's really going to be nice or not. Just because I like the idea of these videos, and I would like making them, so yeah. Anyway, if you like this one, consider liking, commenting, and subscribing, and thanks for watching.